What is a tax deed sale in Florida? Welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to answer your question, what is a tax deed sale in Florida? Well, I'll start out by telling you a tax deed sale is really a tax defaulted auction. That means they're going to auction off properties for pennies on the dollar. Now, my name is Ted Thomas, and I'm going to show you a lucrative way to make money that's honest and ethical. And not only do you help yourself, but you'll help the local community getting properties back onto the tax rolls. This business has been around for over 200 years. So I've discovered a little known but highly profitable business that once you learn how to do this, you can do it for the rest of your life. And it helps a lot of people along the way. Now, before I finish this video, you'll have a general idea of how these tax deed sales, which are really auctions, work and how the government sells the property so people can make money. And this is a bargain purchases for you once you learn how to do it. I'm also going to share with you a few of the challenges that take place so that you don't have a lot of problems at the auction and you avoid all the pitfalls that take place at the auction. So what is a tax deed sale in Florida? Well, Florida basically has two different auctions. They have what they call a tax lien certificate auction, and they have tax deed auctions. Now, these auctions are defaulted properties where the property owner did not pay their tax. Now, this is something you can easily learn. It's a step-by-step process, so stay with me. I'll be right back and teach you the basics. Okay, so welcome back. All right, now the question I'm answering, the episode today is all about what is a tax deed sale in Florida. So the tax deed sale, as I say, is an auction. Now, the auction takes place as a result of defaulting property owners. And what really took place was that the treasurer has sent many notices on behalf of the county telling the property owner that you owe taxes, you must pay taxes. And it also explains what the consequences of not paying taxes are. For example, it will explain in the due process notices that if they don't pay the taxes, the property will be confiscated by the local county, and the local county will then be authorized to sell that property at, you might call it a tax sale, but it's really a tax defaulted auction. And that auction will sell properties for absolute pennies on the dollar. The treasurer and the county, they don't want the property. They just want the money, the revenue for taxes. So the property will more than likely start out very close to the back taxes. Now, all of these auctions are conducted by county officials. Now, the counties that have low populations, more than likely a woman will come down from her desk on the 5th floor of the office and auction on the courthouse steps. Or it might be a gentleman that comes. They will come out and they'll auction properties simply by reading the tax number and letting people bid on those properties. They'll all be announced in the newspaper. They advertise in the newspaper and they'll be on the county website. All right, the idea here is these are auction properties. The county doesn't want the property. The county wants the revenue from that property to pay the back taxes, and then they want to get that property back onto the tax roll. The tax roll is all the people that are paying taxes. If it's in default, that means it's not on the tax roll. The only money that the county gets is money from the tax roll, and they get money to pay for the police department, the fire department, and don't forget, county employees all get paid. There's lots of things for the county to pay for. School teachers fix the road. I could go on and on. The point is the county has a lot of bills. If people don't pay the tax, they have to do something about it. So there's two auctions they can have. One is called a tax lien certificate auction. You'll find many videos on this channel about tax lien certificate auctions. Today I'm talking about a tax deed sale, which is really a tax defaulted auction. Now, it starts at the minimum bid and then it goes up. The highest bidder gets the property. They sell these property in a public auction. So many times, if it isn't raining, it'll just be on the courthouse steps. Other times, it'll be in a big auditorium, but they'll always tell you where the auction is going to be. These properties have been confiscated. They have been confiscated from property owners that did not pay the tax. Now, what happens to the mortgage? When the mortgage is on a property, when they're selling it at auction, the treasurer, they will wipe out the mortgage. They're just going to get rid of it. They take it right off the official public records. They take off other mortgages and they take off other encumbrances. So you need to know the rules and understand what comes off. So you're basically buying a property real close to being free and clear. That means there's no mortgage. So if you can buy that at a bargain, all the margin is yours to make a profit. So you want to keep your bids under control. All right, now this system works for everybody. So let's discuss a few of the fundamentals. It starts out like this. The state of Florida has elected officials. Those are called legislators. They meet in a legislative body and they make the rules and the rules for collecting taxes. So those rules are tax lien certificates start in Florida. However, if this tax lien doesn't sell, then they're going to have tax defaulted auction or tax sales. All right, anybody can buy at those auctions. The starting bid is usually very close to the back taxes, and in all cases, they wipe out. They just wipe it out. The mortgage is wiped off the property at the official government records. All right, now the collections of money start with a treasurer. If the treasurer can't collect the taxes, then the treasurer has the authority to, number one, levy the tax, collect the tax, and if they can't collect the tax, the treasurer can confiscate the property, put it back out into the marketplace at a public auction, which they will announce in the newspaper. I'm sure you're getting the idea. All this confiscation and seizure is authorized by the legislator. Highest bidder at the auction gets the property without a mortgage. Highest bidder gets the property without a mortgage. It's been deleted by an act of law, not by Ted Thomas, but by an act of law. So this is happening every single day. Now, anybody can attend the auction. More than likely, a woman from the county records will just walk out there and start announcing that she's having an auction, and she will sell the properties by number, and she'll sell them right in a sequence. You can get that sequence on the website, and you can get it from the newspaper so that you'll know exactly what's going on. She'll sell the property. Starting bid will be very close to the back taxes, and the bidding will go up from there. You can raise your hand anytime you want at the auction. If they have bidders cards, they'll have you raise a bidder card up in the air. These properties, they want to sell every one. If they don't get bids, then they'll come back to the county, and the county will put them on a forfeited lands list or a surplus list, and we'll talk about that on another video. All right, now all properties are sold if they can get bids. If they don't get bids, the treasurer will take the property and they will hold on to it and do another type of auction, which I'm not prepared to cover now, but there will be leftover auctions on all out. They can't ever sell all the property. It's rare that they sell out. All right, now there's numerous videos on this channel about tax lien auctions and tax defaulted property auctions. So I'm going to button it up here with a couple of questions, and then if you want to see other videos, you can go in the channel and see other videos. But here's the questions. Why don't people pay property taxes? Well, unfortunately, some people die. And if they die, there's no one around to make the property tax. So if they have heirs that know what to do and pay the tax, fine. But people pass away, and that's happening every day. And if they don't have any relatives to keep paying the taxes, well, the taxes won't get paid. So the county has no choice but to end up confiscating that property. How do you know what you're buying? Well, that's really a good question. The question is, you need to get off your rusty dusty. You should look and see what you're going to buy. If you buy properties without looking, you're making the biggest mistake. Don't buy properties without looking. Go look at the property, do evaluations. By that I mean you get evaluations on Zillow, you could go on MLS, you could go on the county tax assessor site, see what properties are worth, know what you would sell it for, know what, if it needs repairs, know what it would repair for. It's going to be up to you. It's buyer beware. They're not advertising premium properties like a builder does. These properties are used and abused. So it's up to you to go and check out the property and see if there's something there that you want to buy and that you can see that you're able to buy it low enough and you've got plenty of margin to sell it at a different price and be able to make some money. All right, so I'm finishing up now, and here's what I want to make sure. I always promise people, I'll tell you about 2 mistakes people make at the auction. First mistake they make at the auction is this. They don't look at the property. So if you haven't had eyes and boots on the ground and you haven't seen that property, or you don't have somebody you know looking at that property, I'm going to tell you not to buy it. What if it burned down? What if there was a hurricane? What if there was a fire? What if there was a windstorm? I mean, any kind of crisis could happen to that property. And then you'll be buying that burned out Hulk. You really don't want to do that. The other big mistake people make is they get to the auction and they get too excited. And they get excited and they get into that bidding stuff and they start bidding and they're bidding to win. You don't need a bid to win. Anybody can bid high and win. You bid so you get to your objective of getting a property cheap. All right, now you don't want to bid on a property until you know what you can sell it for. All right, now that's called an exit strategy. If you don't have an exit strategy, don't bid on the property. All right, well, thanks for watching. Below me is a free gift for all of you that stayed with me. I hope you learned a lot today. I'll be back on the next video.